Hi there, hello, and welcome to Base Camp. I'm Pastor Pat.
And I'm Nodda.
Wait, what?
I said I'm Nodda.
I heard you, I just couldn't believe what I heard.
We've known each other for how long now, and you still don't know my name?
Oh, I know your name. It's just that about 90% of the time, I don't think you know your name.
That's ridiculous.
Is it?
And I'm a groundhog. Davy Crockett. I'm a great big bear. You better give me something to eat. I'm the pink purveyor of peacefulness. And I'm 7-time Super Bowl champion, 5-time Super Bowl MVP, 3-time NFL MVP, greatest of all time quarterback football player, Tom Brady. I'm
Don't say it.
Santa Claus.
You said it.
Anything can look bad when you take it out of context.
What context? At last month's Christmas party, you put on a green wig and claimed to be the Christmas tree.
To be fair, I was just trying to get all the Christmas presents.
That's your defense? You were trying to steal everyone's presents?
Stealing is such a strong word.
And an accurate one?
You know, we can argue about the past all we want, but I'm interested in the present.
Everyone else's presents.
Har. Very clever. What's important right now is I'm perfect.
What? Weren't we just talking about you lying about your identity and stealing?
The past.
I see. So is this a New Year's resolution thing?
New Year's resolutions are for people who have to change, and I'm not about to change. See what I did there? Not about to change. Us perfect people also make perfect puns.
Is there such a thing as a perfect pun?
Must be, because I, a perfect person, just did one. No,
Nodda.
I know what you're going to say.
I would think it would be obvious.
You're going to pull out some Bible reference telling me that I need to change.
Well,
But there's no need.
really.
2 Timothy 3:16 says, all scripture is God-breathed and is useful for teaching, rebuking, correcting, and training in righteousness. Teaching is helping someone to learn new things. Perfect, no learning needed. Rebuking is showing someone what they're doing wrong. Perfect, no rebuking needed. Correcting is helping someone who has made a mistake. Perfect, no mistakes. Training is showing how to do things better. Perfect, so already the best. There is nothing that I can improve on by looking at the Bible.
You know, I know of some other people who thought they were perfect and didn't need to change.
Really? There's more of us?
In 2 Kings chapter 15...
That sounds like a Bible passage. I told you, perfect people don't need to learn from Scripture.
Perfect people don't interrupt.
I wasn't interrupting. I was making a point of order for clarification purposes. Please continue.
Thank you. In 2 Kings chapter 15, we're given a list of a bunch of kings of the northern kingdom of Israel who ruled during the time of Azariah, also called Uzziah, the king of Judah. Now, if you remember, Uzziah was a godly king.
Of course I remember. We perfect people never forget anything.
You've never forgotten anything?
I don't remember forgetting anything.
Zechariah took over Israel when his dad died. He ruled 6 months and then was killed by Shallum, who took over. He ruled 1 month and then Menahem killed him and took over. Menahem managed to rule for 10 years, but during that time the king of Assyria invaded and Menahem had to pay him a bunch of money. When he died, his son Pekahiah took over. He ruled for 2 years and then was killed by Pekah, who made himself king. He got invaded by Assyria and then was killed by Hoshea, who made himself king.
That did not go well for any of those kings. Most of them murdered their way to the top and then got murdered themselves. And if they weren't murdered, those pesky Assyrians took over. Man, what a bunch of messed up guys.
Yeah, and you'd think they would have done better because they all had the opportunity to see how everyone before them had messed up and could have learned from them. But instead, they figured that they were perfect and didn't need to change anything. If you read 2 Kings 15, there's a phrase that pops up over and over again. We see it for the first time in verse 9. He did evil in the eyes of the Lord as his predecessors had done. He did not turn away from the sins of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, which he had caused Israel to commit. Refusing to recognize the need to change really hurt them.
Yeah, what a bunch of losers.
Right. And now let's look at Jotham, king of Uzziah's son, who took over when his father died.
His dad was a good and godly king, right?
Right, and so was he.
Right. Perfect. Not like those other guys. So, nothing for him to learn or change.
Not quite. Even though Jotham's dad, Uzziah, was a godly king, he still made a mistake. As I'm sure you remember, Uzziah had tried to burn incense in the temple, even though that was a job reserved for the priests.
Of course I remember that.
Check out what 2 Chronicles 27:2 says about him. He did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, just as his father Uzziah had done, but unlike him, he did not enter the temple of the Lord. Jotham embraced what was good, but also was willing to learn from what was wrong. He wasn't satisfied with where he started, but looked to do better.
So, he perfected perfection by making it perfecter?
Something like that. He recognized that there was always room for improvement.
That too.
So in 2 Kings 15, we meet a bunch of kings. Most of them refused to apply the lessons learned from the mistakes of others to their own lives, choosing instead to believe that they didn't need to change a thing. But one saw the good example and followed that, while also learning from his father's mistake. What lesson do you think you can take from this?
Learn from others' mistakes because you'll never have time to make them all yourself.
Close. How about learn from others' mistakes so that you don't have to make them all yourself?
That too.
The kings of Israel had high opinions of themselves and saw no need to change. But what if we looked around and saw others' accomplishments and failures, and then looked in the mirror and applied them to ourselves?
That would mean admitting I'm not perfect.
Yes. Yes, it would.
Fine, I'm not perfect. I have things that I can definitely do better.
Good.
I definitely do not want to end up like one of those kings of Israel.
Yeah, those are good examples of what not to do.
Plus, admitting I have flaws means I'm humble. And you've got to be humble if you want to be perfect.
Well, I guess that's an improvement. None of us are perfect, and we all have room to change and improve. A good way to know how to do that is by learning from others, both what they do right and what they do wrong. Let's keep growing. Thanks for joining us today for Base Camp, a ministry of Summit Church in beautiful Bozeman, Montana. We have services every Sunday at 10 o'clock, and we're online anytime at summitchurchmt.com. We're also on Facebook and YouTube at Summit Church MT. We'd love for you to swing by our children's ministry Facebook page too, which is Base Camp Kids Min. We'd love it if you'd like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!
So, Pastor Pat, I've been looking around and found a way I can learn and improve by watching other people, including watching you.
Really? What did you learn?
To skip dessert every now and then.